This is part one in a series of videos on how to repair a bathroom floor, the subflooring from water damage. I would advise you to watch the other videos because I'm going to use different scenarios. I'm going to use different types of framing repairs. There are a variety of different things you can do for a situation like this, so I would imagine you'll be able to watch the other videos. If this particular video doesn't match your scenario, you might find it in another video. This video will basically focus on damage in the center of the bathroom. So you're not going to have damage underneath a cabinet, a toilet, or the bathtub. I'm going to cover that in another video. So the first thing I'd like you to do is draw some parallel perpendicular lines around the damaged area so that you can cut the subflooring and remove it so you can replace it. You'll leave a hole like this. Now I do advise you when you're cutting, do not cut too far below the subflooring. Don't just get a Sawzall and go in there and start cutting, because you could cut, there might be electrical wires or pipes underneath there. I advise you to cut the plywood as close as you can to the bottom. If you have 3/4 inch plywood, cut 7/8 of an inch. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to even remove a section of the plywood. You know, maybe like a 4" by 4" section, and then get a flashlight or something, look and see if there are any pipes under there or electrical wires. Trust me, you don't want to cut into that. You don't want to cut into structural beams either. You should end up with something like this, a nice square. Again, try and keep everything square. It's going to be easier for the repairs. Here's a different angle. I went ahead and removed some of the wall studs to give you on the bathroom wall, give you a better shot there. And here's a view from below. So the first thing you're going to want to do in a situation like this, where you have a floor joist next to the cut that you just did, something within an inch, you can always just add a 2x4 nailer to the floor joist. You can screw it or attach it with nails, whatever you feel best. You can also use larger lumber. If you have 2x6 floor joist, you can use 2x6. That's not going to be a problem. And you can always double up some of these boards if your joist is a little farther away, or if you were looking for some more room so that you could nail the new plywood onto. You know, so you might, let's just say you might have a 1/2 inch. If you nail a 2x4 onto the joist, if that's the case, you can always nail another 2x4 onto the 2x4 you just nailed on, to give you some more room if you need it. Here's what it should look like from above. Plenty of room, again, at least 3/4 of an inch from your old subflooring. Now here's how we could tackle the other side of this situation. Again, remember, you can do this in different ways. I'm going to try and provide you with other alternatives in the other videos. So this just, again, just trying to give you an idea here of how you can put something like this together. Here's what it looks like from above. It gives you a nice perimeter to nail the new plywood to. Now this can also be, you can nail these boards together above. Do all your measurements, nail it together, and then reach your hand, you know, put the boards underneath the floor joist and pull it up into place, and then screw it or nail it to the floor joist, because it's going to be hard to tell exactly what you're going to be doing, what you're going to be working with, because you might not be able to get underneath the floor. And you might not have access to stuff like that. So everything that you do might need to be done from above. So you're going to need to get a little creative there. And for the other side, you can always just use a flat block. You can put the block in at a 90-degree angle, or you can put it in flat as I'm showing you in the illustration. Here it is from the bottom. Everything from the bottom, just to give you another idea of what I'm doing. And this is what it would look like from above. And you just fasten the blocks into the joist with screws or nails, whatever you feel comfortable with. And once you have a perimeter, a nice perimeter like this, you can go ahead and cut a new piece of plywood and put it in. Just make sure that the grain of the plywood is going in the right direction. You can see here that the grain of the plywood is not going in the same direction as the existing flooring, but here it is. You can see where the grain of the plywood is actually going in the same direction. So just go back to the previous picture and see if you're having a hard time understanding what I'm talking about, and then look at these two, the picture before this and this one, give you a better idea. And this is what it would look like after it was done. Now you can use whatever screws you need. If you're going to be using 3/4 inch plywood, use at least an 1 5/8 screw to screw the plywood to the floor joist, and use at least a 2-inch screw to attach the 2x4s or 2x6 to the floor joist. You might even need to use a 3-inch screw. And 3-inch nails will be fine. A 16D will be fine for nailing the blocks together, nailing all of your framing supports for the plywood to the floor joist, or nailing it together. And an 8D nail would be fine for nailing the plywood to the new framing. So hope this helps. If it does, hit the old thumbs up button. It's always greatly appreciated to know that these videos are appreciated. And again, I'm going to try and make a few more videos on this. This will be part of a series, and I will attach the links to the new videos in this area.